Coming off a first place finish at 2025 USAPL Nationals, I have Anthony Poy in the 67.5 kg division, going 3 for 3 on squat. Best squat is 507 pounds, 230 kg. I wanted to share my thoughts on how prep went and some of the techniques and cueing that we used in order to get success on the platform. So that being said, Anthony's like one of the hardest workers I work with. He's an open book. This is a second attempt squat from Arnold's here. I'll watch that back again. You can see the squat is deep, so you never have to worry about Anthony getting red lights on depth. But that being said, he probably doesn't have to squat that deep if we're going to handle maximum weights. He could probably push a little bit more and squat, to standard here. So what we did, as you can see, he's squatting in heels here. We went to a flat shoe. And the flat shoe is going to help him feel midfoot, get a little bit better proprioception, really feel the ground underneath him so he can really work that control on the eccentric so he doesn't, dive bomb into the hole. So that was the first thing we did. Another cue I gave him throughout prep was, we got to get stacked. So if you can see here, I have a plumb line going from midfoot right up. And I say, hey, we got to get taller here, man. We got to get your skull to the ceiling. We got to, just get a little taller. Your center of mass is way behind you. You're going to get tipped forward. So that's another thing we worked on. As far as exercises, I programmed high bar squats for him, reps, a lot of reps. The high bar squat's great because it's going to put him in more of an upright position, working off that cue, right? But it's also going to get those knees to drive forward. And, we're squatting 3 days a week, so it's going to be a submaximal load limiting lift. So we can handle that 3 days a week frequency. So as you can see, these are short, concise, good knee drive, really, really strong. The quads are the prime mover in the squat. So, want to get those quads strong. Another exercise we used was a tempo squat. And the tempo squat, it's going to let you feel that midfoot longer. So I said, hey, really feel for midfoot and steer it down with the knees. So we do these for reps, changes from block to block sometimes, but, feel for midfoot, steer it down. Good brace. It's a great exercise for bracing too. But, another load limiter since we're squatting 3 times a week here. So more exposure, more practice. And he did a great job with these. Very good. So, a couple blocks, we try to string it all together. So, this was a week 1 squat, and I was actually working out with him that day. And what we said was, feel for midfoot, get nice and tall, and this was the result. This is 440, nice and tall, managing center of mass, drives the knees forward, and blows the squat up. From here, Mr. Pepperoni's happy in the background. We have good looking squats. There's another week 1 pause squat right here. Oh, not pause, but still really, really good. Much more balanced. And from here, we have a technique that we can build and trust. I always tell my lifters, trust your technique. Do not squat high. You can get this lift. You got to trust your technique. This is huge right here. Nice little double. So, I really think he's going to push this lift and be capable of, more PRs on the platform. But I just wanted to share that with everybody and, uh, give some feedback on, how this all worked out for us. Thanks.